we really are our own brand of legacy, and it's growing. So I love the fact that it's constantly changing and moving, but most importantly, it's all about expansion and how you interact with everyone every single day.
Welcome back to our Happy Rainmakers series, where point one can make a difference. Today, I'm joined by Nancy Schwartz, who's the founder of Envision Healthy Retirement, and she's going to talk with us about creating a legacy. Thanks so much for being with us today, Nancy.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here and part of your project, which I know is dear to your heart.
It is. Thank you very much. You're an expert on the retirement portion, but you believe that creating a legacy starts earlier than that, right?
Yes, I do. I do very much. You know, we're all trained to think about legacy, certainly from the financial point of view, as when we go and review our wills and trusts and figure out how to divvy up everything equitably. And then that's raised, right? What is your legacy? But that's at the end of your life. And that's generally when you die. And I truly believe that legacy starts very early on in one's career. And it's really figuring out how you want to live, how are you being, and where do you want to go? And we know that this changes decade over decade. And it's really based on fundamentals of value and of purpose and of impact. It's really something that is about growth of the human, but also in a very expansive mode that we're constantly learning, we're constantly developing, and that we really are our own brand of legacy, and it's growing, decade over decade. So how I was in my 20s, I'm sure same with you, very different now as a very senior leader. And so I love the fact that it's constantly changing and moving, but most importantly, it's all about expansion and how you interact with everyone every single day. And that comes from your absolute idea of starting very early in a career to really mature this, if you will, legacy, strategy, and tactics through to our latter years. And we're all living longer. So to be very purposeful, to be very present in the moment, and really so curious about life, right? So yes, I do believe that starting early is a good thing instead of staying to the end.
So for some of our listeners who might be early on in their career, some newer associates, some people who aren't yet partners, can you recommend some ways that they might think about their legacy and how they're viewed now? And then we might talk about how that might change over time.
What's so interesting for younger people is to start identifying who you want to be. Who are you? Why are you doing this? What are the values? What is something that you want to be doing? And how do you get there? And how do you get there is by saying, I'd love to have a mentor. Everybody can be a mentor. Could be a friend, could be a colleague, could be in your Rolodex somewhere. We all can learn from each other. So I think that's so important. Just surround yourself with very different type of mentors, right? Not everybody is the same, to have that. And then I think it's also about continually educate, learn, capture the moment, see the interest. Does it spark you in somewhat? Follow that path, right? So yes, so those are, I think, 3 ideas that would work really well in an early career.
Let's say I'm a successful partner and I'm not ready to retire yet. Mm-hmm. What might I do in terms of legacy and thinking ahead that would assure I had a meaningful retirement?
That requires a lot of work. It doesn't happen instantly. Just like in the younger ones, it takes decades to grow. I'm not suggesting that when you're ready to retire that it takes decades, but it really requires thought process. Really to think about how you're envisioning what it is that you want to be doing. How does it look? What's the experience like? And you're here, again, how do you get there, whatever that individual purpose is? And I think that that's really an industry disruptor that we all thought perhaps we went to Florida or we all just thought, okay, well, I'm going to play golf and tennis, or maybe I'm going to travel, this kind of thing. But it's really, again, we get back to the individual. And so to be able to really envision, what is it? Dream huge, think big, be empowered, because you can do anything you want.
Well, I think that's really helpful. And a lot of us who are listening to you might have some thinking to do over the next several days or months or years. Thank you so much for all of that information.
Thank you, Jen.